over the weekend, there was somewhat of a campaign to boycott, right? The boycotting Hogwarts Legacy movement kind of came back. When you have all these people saying, boycott the game, you're going to be supporting this, or that. If you buy the game, we're all evil people. And I guess there's millions upon millions of evil people. Let's look at PlayStation, all right? Two interesting things with PlayStation. Number one, it's the deluxe edition bundle that is the higher one. So this one is literally rated based off of best selling. You can see in the top corner, sort by best selling. It's number 2 after Destiny 2 Lightfall, which just kind of happened, right? And you look through this, well, number 1, the deluxe edition is second on the list, which is incredible. And Hogwarts Legacy, the normal, one, is 10th on the list. Not only is it 10th, though, it's one behind God of War's deluxe edition. And the deluxe edition for Hogwarts is multiple ahead of God of War Ragnarok.
I'm gonna come.
Now, we all know that weirdos on Twitter absolutely hate J.K. Rowling, but what you might not have been familiar with was the hilarious cancellation attempt of the Warner Brothers Hogwarts Legacy game that failed spectacularly. Perhaps, maybe the greatest self-owned headline I've ever seen reads as follows. Harry Potter fans torn as Hogwarts Legacy Collector's Edition sells out despite boycott threats. Ah! Oh, you just hate to see it. I mean, it's just so bad. I mean, I think it's like really the tides, maybe you don't win every battle, but you certainly we're starting to win some more of them. And by the way, announcing today, I know, like, those weirdo, those lame stream coffee places, they have their pumpkin spice, which is literally just nutmeg. We have a delicious spiked jack-o'-lantern flavor, which I'm drinking right now in this cup. This is from the original tasting batch. It's just fall as frick. That's all I can say. I'm going to leave a link in the description. You got to try it out for fall. We worked hard on getting the flavor right, and I think you're really going to like it. Hogwarts Legacy is one of the most anticipated releases of 2023, and it looks awesome, by the way. However, divisions have opened in the Harry Potter community, with many calling on gamers to boycott it altogether, with pre-orders for the Collector's Edition selling out in minutes. The debate is now more rampant than ever. The reason why some people have been calling for a boycott of the game is due to Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's history of phobic comments that she has continued to double down on. I mean, by phobic comments, what they really mean is like science. Not science TM, but science. J.K. Rowling has spoke candidly about the trans community, her comments hurting many for being outwardly phobic. That's their determination of them, by the way, not an actual determination. As a result, many people associated with the Harry Potter brand have distanced themselves from the author, while a lot of fans have also turned their back on the wizarding world. Hogwarts Legacy isn't set to be released until February, but the game was trending on social media as Harry Potter fans debated whether or not they should support the game. Many are speaking out against Rowling's phobic comments, arguing that just one of the many reasons they will not be buying Hogwarts Legacy. However, there are other vocal fans who disagree with Rowling's stance but will be supporting the game, as they say you can separate the art from the artist. Well, yeah, I think you can. I've always said that, like, life is short, and you can only boycott so many things. One Twitter user wrote on how the profits Rowling will make the game be used to further her bigoted agenda. Others also brought to attention her checkered past, the checkered past that some of the head developers have when it comes to their views on female representation. This is where the real boycott started. But the lead developer of Hogwarts Legacy, Troy Levitt, is a far-right YouTuber who used to make anti-feminist and pro-GG videos. Whoa! That was back in August. That tweet was in August 28th, but I mean, this was a big hullabaloo earlier. You even had the director, WB Games, Hogwarts Legacy Boycott, addressed by WB Games boss. The head of Warner Brothers Games has spoken out about the potential Hogwarts Legacy boycott. Hogwarts Legacy has been the subject of controversy for quite some time now. The highly anticipated Harry Potter game takes place 100 years before Potter's arrival at the Wizarding School. It's being largely expected to be its own story to help flesh out the world created by J.K. Rowling. While all of that sounds well and good, the controversy revolves around Rowling's personal opinions, namely her views on trans individuals. Although Rowling isn't directly involved in the development of the game, she's expected to earn royalties. Quote, "We're very focused on the game that we built and the great job that Avalanche Studios has done," said Haddad. "We want everyone that loves this world and loves these stories and loves these characters." A new gameplay trailer for Hogwarts Legacy was recently revealed, offering a new glimpse of what fans can expect from the highly anticipated game. It's expected to be a major release for WB Games, a publisher that is doing incredibly well in the wake of WB merger. Warner Brothers Games recently confirmed it hasn't canceled any games since the merger and is profitable despite the ongoing crushing of everything at HBO Max. I mean, the idea that, you see, here's Game Rant, their legacy, their efforts explained. Why fans are boycotting. Well, anything that J.K. Rowling does, 12 people boycott it. Tens of thousands of people, mostly bots, talk about it on Twitter. But, I mean, pretty sure she's doing just fine. Harry Potter movies have still pretty much held up pretty good for me. It's like a Thanksgiving, Christmas watch. Usually I watch through all of them. I don't know why I feel like Christmas is the time. Maybe that's the time they came out in the theaters. And I'm just kind of like feeling like, oh, it's a rewatch time. Same thing with Lord of the Rings. I rewatch it every year, but that's like a fall thing too. But in spite of Potter's story centering around themes of liberation and affirmation, Rowling's views created rippling effects for seeming to advocate against the rights of certain individuals. But of course, these are all basically every video game website on the planet is staffed by people who really wish that they could be talking about left-wing political issues, and so they begrudgingly talk about video games instead. One of the main antagonists of the game is a powerful goblin who can wield and use magic without a wand. Goblins are not allowed to use wands in the Harry Potter universe, and they are closely watched over and subdued by the Ministry of Magic because of this, making Hogwarts Legacy about quelling a goblin rebellion sparked a debate about whether or not the game should be supported for its racist coded narrative, combining with Rowling. So goblins are racist now too? I thought that was just orcs. Wait, what? What? Well, it makes sense to try and boycott further IPs that belong to the Wizarding world. Video games such as Hogwarts Legacy still have many fans excited, regardless of the politics surrounding the original author of the Harry Potter series. Literally nobody is going to not buy this game because of J.K. Rowling. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's going to be on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and a Switch version already in development. This is a massive release for them. This on top of, J.K. Rowling hilariously trolling people, essentially. J.K. Rowling released a new book today about a YouTube animator that gets ended for making comments, making phobic comments and animations, and it's 600 pages longer than Dune. You see, I know this sounds... In her new book, Rowling introduces readers to Eddie Ledwell, a creator of popular YouTube cartoon who sees internet trolls and her own fandom turn on her after the cartoon was criticized as being ableist, as well as phobic for a bit about a hermaphroditic worm. The creator is doxxed with photos of her home plastered on the internet, subjected to all sorts of threats for having an opinion, was ultimately found ended. The book takes a clear aim at social justice warriors and suggests that Ledwell was the victim of a masterfully plotted, politically fueled hate campaign against her. I mean, I know that people, like, on Twitter are minimizing this, but, like, people showed up at her house. People had made all sorts of vile threats towards her. So I mean, I don't think that she's out of line. I think it's funny that she like takes a swipe at that, takes a swipe at them. Despite being the clear similarities to her own life, Rowling claimed to Graham Norton that it's all just a big coincidence. I should be really clear after some of the things that have happened in the last year that is not depicting that, she said. I had written the book before certain of these things happened to me online, she continued. I said to my husband, I think everyone's going to see this as a response of what happened to me, but I genuinely wasn't. The first draft of the book was finished. At a certain point, things certain happened. So far, critics aren't buying our explanation, with the Sunday Times and the Telegraph both pointing out the obvious connections and giving the novel bleak reviews. So the New York Times, they're giving her book a bad review because they think she's transphobic. They can't view her book as it stands alone, obviously. It has to be what she said online. And by the way, J.K. Rowling has done a lot standing up for women, and I don't think that her opinions are problematic in any way, shape, or form. And had I known that there was going to be some sort of collector's edition for the Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy, I would have absolutely bought it. And I look forward to maybe even streaming the game if my internet gets sorted out in February when the game comes out. Are you interested in Hogwarts Legacy? Are you going to be playing it or not? I'll be interested to hear your comments in the comment section down below. And I'll leave a link for you to try our spiked jack-o'-lantern coffee. We have whole bean and ground available. If you don't like that, we've got 6 other coffees, 6 organic loose leaf teas. We've got a double caffeinated blend. We've got hot cocoa. We've got cold brew bags, roaster's choice. We've got K-cups, literally everything you could ever want. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.